All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hanamonogatari, episode 5. Episode 5.
Mhm.
Okay.
Roka dead.
Yeah. That twist happened. Kambaru is still figuring out now who she is in the midst of all this.
Yep.
She's had a great talk with the sage god himself with his long, voluptuous locks. It was very helpful.
The conversation was amazing.
It was an amazing conversation.
I just still can't. That hair, no.
But
No.
we're in a weird place with regards to this arc.
Yep.
Because it feels like the arc ended last episode.
Kind of.
So
Not quite.
What happens here?
Right, because
Do we bookend things a bit with Ogi?
Yeah.
Do we have a little bit more kind of stuff that will happen within kind of Suruga, Suruga, kind of dealing with this whole stuff? Maybe we'll see some of the Araragi sisters, you know?
Maybe, but it's
like who's going to be the focus point other than Suruga in this episode?
Well, it's weird because Tsuruga is the focus for this arc, right?
Yeah.
And she's had a lot of growth through this arc, but I feel like we're not quite at a milestone ending
her?
point. Maybe we are. Maybe
I felt like we were in the last one, but
the last one was pretty important, but now I feel like we need to have her enact on that milestone to kind of make sure that it's firmly in the
wind
ground.
down a little bit after the climax, if anything.
But we also introduced another character who has now probably an arc of their own that needs to be gone on at some point. And so is that going to happen now or later or what?
Yeah, I guess we'll see now. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, ooh,
Very pretty.
beautiful. Huh. Pakage.
Is it the monkey paw back?
Oh. Gain gave me this. You don't have to pay me. Use it if you want. Oh, is Kaiki? Something from Kaiki?
I think so.
I missed the last bit, but I guess we'll see. Oh! Well.
Okay.
We are completing the
Oh, wow. And
the
Roka's
devil
not
body.
there.
Yeah, you're right.
But if she has a devil face, then Roka would come for that, right? Like,
yeah, or maybe she'll make another wish, you know?
but like Tsuruga knows not to rely on that stuff. So
Yeah.
that was her.
That was it. That was
Yeah,
it.
I think so.
Wow. I never
Okay.
clued into that.
Yeah, she was dropping there.
Yeah. And then she runs down the area alone.
And
She's looking for her.
right, and Roka is going through
Walking
the
through the field of flowers.
Very
Yeah, exactly.
gladiator-like.
Well, that's just a motif for death at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, this is obviously a flashback. Oh no, they're at opposite ends of the court.
Right.
Can they meet? They never touch. And then
it goes back to
Yeah.
the flowers she was walking through.
whoa.
Okay.
420. Wait. So they are meeting again.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Right. So there's more to it than money.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, she's in fight mode now.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. Oh. Sure. Yeah. She's miserable. Brings her misery to look at her. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Dang. Whoa. Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get it. Oh. She's like, you wouldn't. Smash it with a hammer. Yeah. Oh! Oh! They're bringing
Awesome.
ego into this.
Yeah.
Right, right. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Trying to be like your senpai in this case here, Suruga. This is a playful theme. To save you. I guess it's not something specifically for Suruga, but it's... That's one way to look at it, sure.
But how can...
Oh.
How can Suruga actually beat her without devil limbs, though?
Maybe it's not just something about, you know, the game winning or losing. It's about actually playing the game together. This fog's setting in. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's time to do this for real. All right, Monogatari. Let's go full sports anime here.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's no problem. Yeah. It's like betting all in poker for two sides,
Right.
you know? Huh? Yeah, exactly. Huh. Yeah.
So she really doesn't. She doesn't realize that she's dead. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Dang. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
So she has to help her realize the truth, but how?
Wow, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's how the two are tied together beyond just the
So you
potential
could
relationship.
you could essentially ignore her. Whoa. Okay. Confirm that she's not me.
Hmm.
Wow. Oh. Oh, okay. I thought she was going for the angle of like combating her memories, basically saying
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
remembering things right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Mmm. Whoa.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, animation, let's go.
Yeah, traditional ways of play probably won't work very well because she can jump way farther
Yeah.
than a normal person would.
Whoa, whoa!
Oh!
Whoa!
But yeah, she's so fast, like.
Whoa! That's it!
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my god, okay. And now they've switched positions, you know? Yeah, from that point in the past. Whoa. Yeah. Oh.
Maybe that's not the only thing you quit, not knowing it's a team sport.
Life is a team sport in a lot of ways. A little bounce hot bag. That was cute. Nice. Not running or fighting, but standing still. Yeah.
Now,
Live
is
life.
this sparkling? Does that mean that she's passing on?
I think this is them both accepting. Because she's still here, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Whoa. She had almost everything.
A lot of it, yeah.
Wow. Okay. dream. Is this mom?
Maybe?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Oh, okay. Taking on everyone else's dirt. Huh? 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 Security is direly lacking. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jeez. Were you? Hmm. Aw. Huh? He's playing dominoes. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, sure you are. I love these two talking together.
Wow. Wow.
So we have freedom, thinking justice. What? Mmm. Having the desire, the passion to make the wish. Maybe. Yeah. Just being somewhat certain of that. Sure. Okay.
Flower.
Yeah. Cut the
Hey!
hair! Yeah!
Awesome.
It's her
Awesome.
wish.
Awesome.
Play sports, yeah. Yeah, why?
Okay.
Where to?
Cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's good at doing that.
Yeah.
But is that you, Suruga? Is that you? Okay. It has begun. You chose. That's what's important. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, that's a
Wow.
great way to end it.
Okay.
Awesome. So it was Araragi, but also Roka because of the
head.
Yeah, being
Which
sent
was
there.
kind of orchestrated by Kaiki.
Uh-huh.
Which is great because that means that he knew it would cause a reunion between the two of them, and it was also something that Suruga would be able to handle,
Right.
and all of the above.
Yeah. But okay.
Well, that's that.
That's that. We have ourselves a conclusion of sorts for Suruga that isn't actually a full conclusion for the story with regards to her family as much. But I did like them bringing it back to that context of having this sort of conversation, like she carries her mother with her.
Well,
In the same way, like Roka was kind of a dead person is kind of being,
yeah.
followed her, following around her there.
I mean, I feel like. Well, okay. I feel like there's a few different ways it can be looked at.
Yeah.
One is that there could totally be a bunch more that still needs to be explored. But also, when Roka disappeared, that could have been Roka actually disappearing and moving on, or it could have been that Kanbaro had finally had that resolution so that she was no longer able to see her.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the end.
Hanamonogatari.
Yep.
And it was cool. We tied things off at the end with Araragi showing up.
Having one last fun conversation.
Having one last conversation laden with things that you don't know how serious you're supposed to take them.
Well, I think the fact that he specifically mentioned Karen means that Araragi is messing with Suruga quite a bit because, she actually knows Karen now.
But then we also had a basketball match with Roka and a final conversation with her, where it ended up being one where Roka was basically maybe collecting the last little bit of misery from Suruga so that she could choose who she wants to be. She could have a wish. It felt like there were multiple angles that they attacked the same thing, and that was that she needs to live her life. She can't stay sitting on the sidelines. She can't have no wish. She can't, it needs to be something where she actively participates. And regardless of what that choice is, good or evil or what have you,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. The fact that you're choosing something
Right.
is the important bit here. And Roka was the aimless wanderer here, but she chose to do, the misery collecting and the collecting of the devil parts, which gave her purpose, a means to, in some ways, maybe stick around.
Yep.
And once she gave up on that, due to this whole match here, her time is over.
And theoretically, because of how they talked about the technicalities within the game, of like, well, once I had my hands on the ball, it was essentially over, right?
Right.
But the fact that it didn't end there, and the idea of like, well, then how, was there some part of Roka that also wanted this to end, and that's why Tsuruga was able to actually do it,
Okay.
Because I feel like there's a part of it where Roka probably could have kept the ball from her, and then at that point it would be over, right? Because Tsuruga didn't score. Or not at that point. She hadn't. No pun intended. But and the whole idea of Roka disappearing right there, and like, I feel like you're not entirely sure whether she was going to disappear there or not, because they had all the sparkles going everywhere, and that it's like, okay, she has now agreed that she's not going to pursue the devil parts anymore. Cool. But there's the whole question of, okay, she made that agreement, but what does that mean for her herself? Because making a bet, okay, that's fairly simple and straightforward, right? She had something that she wanted to get, so she made a gamble,
Yep.
So, living with the consequences of that gamble, that's one thing, but the internal change as a result of that, I feel like that's a bit more important.
I did feel like one of the big cruxes of the final aspect of the conflict here was that. Would you say that with regards to this ending, though, it's less actually about having like a perfect interpretation of it, though, and more about actually like maybe in some ways kind of in a meta way what the arc is talking about is kind of, taking an active participation kind of in it and
maybe
delving into it and actually seeking something from it, because it seems like the Araragi stuff was a repetition and a slight continuation based on the decision that Tsuruga made in between that and the end, which was basically to finish things, to have a definitive active role in resolving it herself. She chose to fight instead of to run.
Yep.
She chose to have the match and risk something a little bit rather than actually just sitting on the sidelines and, having someone else handle it for her. Because there's this aspect of the monkey's paw really being this thing that is a chapter of her life there.
Yeah.
But it was something that came from someone else. It was not her.
Well, and even then it was something where there was the fact that it came from someone else and that it was given to her, but then there's also the fact that she was trying to accomplish something not through her own power. She was basically, wishing upon something else to fix her problem.
In the same way that she kind of needed Araragi at specific points to kind of do that there.
Right. And the difference between having someone to fall back on and to help with, giving you a word when you're in a low place,
right,
versus actually wanting them to be the one that fixes it. And I feel like that, because like, I feel like the most likely conclusion is the simple one in that Roka disappeared, right? She was able to pass on, and awesome, way to go. Good for her, good for Kanbaru with fighting and all that stuff. But because of the parallel that was, established between Roka and Tsuruga, with not just the whole idea of them both being basketball players and everything, and them being very opposed, like directly opposed in that sense,
right?
But also the idea that Tsuruga hasn't been doing well, right? And then the whole idea of, Roka killed herself, right? And that's kind of what she's facing. And, and she can see Roka, so what exactly does that mean, right? Yeah. And then when Roka disappears, is that because Roka was able to pass on. And I think she did pass on, but
yeah, I think it's all as well.
Right.
It's that other aspect where she specifically, Suruga in this case, specifically also was able to make a decision with regards to her life.
Right.
And it was a little bit what Roka suggested. She gave advice as Sir Devil, essentially.
Sure.
And it was, hey, get back on the court.
Yeah.
Even if you're not doing basketball. That idea of get back on the court, just going to talk about the whole team sport analogy here. I feel like that is probably one of my favorite analogies I've seen used in Monogatari in a while because of how easily I kind of understand it.
Gotcha.
That is that Roka remembers that basketball was always meant to be a team sport. It is.
Right.
Because she ended up being the defender, she had a lot of points where her team basically had to rely on her to be that final line of defense against the attackers coming in to stop there. I don't know exactly how basketball works because
me neither.
It's also defensive setup where each person guards a person rather than a zone.
Probably.
Maybe you have different types. I don't know. The big thing I would say that you get from that though is that people need people. People need each other, and a team sport is basically saying you can't do this alone. However, you still need to be an active participant in the team and the game. Because in some ways you actually build more opportunities for team synergy stuff to happen when you're an active participant. If you are a dead fish on the basketball court of life, essentially, people don't have anything to partner with you in. So in this case here, I feel like it was all that, and also like just to add in there, Suruga choosing. And then that was what the final moment was, her choosing. Okay, I'm going to limit myself. I'm going to take away this beautiful thing of my hair, and I'm going to choose this aspect of my life. I'm going to choose sports. This is who I am. And people be like, I don't know if this is the right or wrong choice, but you're making a choice here.
And then one of the other things that I thought was kind of interesting was how they brought up what they saw in the other person, right? And what they were kind of jealous of.
Right.
And with Suruga, she was jealous of the fact that that Roka was able to kind of do all of this on her own, right? She was able to go against the whole team, right?
Right.
Whereas for Roka, she noticed that Suruga was a team player. But, that kind of thing changed. There was a point. There was a point when all that Suruga could think about was Senjugahara, right? Yeah. And one of the things that we've seen in like visual just imagery again and again for Suruga is that she closes herself off. She locks herself away in her room, in her piles of books, and she's just there alone, right? When she had a running sequence, she was running alone, right? When we think about, characters that she was friends with before, say Karin, it was not really much of anybody other than Araragi, right? Because of their experience in previous arcs, right? So that idea that then she comes face to face, literally, with the ghost of someone who felt so alone that they killed themselves,
right?
And then has to fight that person, right? And then in doing so is able to like that kind of like looking themselves in a mirror, like that darkest side of themselves, because
they have to face it. They can't look away.
Exactly.
Like we were talking about earlier.
Right. And Suruga wanted to look away from her, right? She wanted to, but she knew that she had to stare directly at her. Yeah,
it's interesting because a couple of the themes in the arc so far, specifically with how it ends, because usually you tie up the most important themes and you bring them back up again in the final bit to kind of show people the journey that you went with these themes, specifically for the characters that are getting the development. And I would say that a couple of them, it's not like they contradict each other, but they are trying to tell both sides of like they're trying to show both sides of the coin, the story, and get like both angles at that there. And it leads to a lot of interesting kind of points of, like, I would say story discussion potential, but they can lead to a little bit of contention there. I think the big one is that both characters end this chapter of their lives.
Yes.
Roka's is over because she's
Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But not only that, she's no longer going to be interacting with any other characters in the story, specifically Suruga.
Mm-hmm.
Suruga, however, has this interesting aspect of ending the chapter in that she doesn't summon Araragi. Why was Araragi there?
Yeah.
He's just there, which means in some level she needed to resolve something with him. And I think that's what the haircut was. The reason why she didn't go to a salon is because she needs to basically play out the team dynamic here, have this be something where she asks Araragi for help in a way that she did in the past. We're coming full circle here. However, he is not going to be the one involved with the life choices that are being made as a result of what this haircut represents. It is all entirely her active participation that does that. He is just basically giving a helpful bit of support in an area that he is skilled in.
And she's allowing him into that space. Right. Which is another reinforcement of the idea of her not being alone. Because there still would be a barber or whatever, but they're, a stranger at that point, right? So it doesn't really mean anything.
Right. Yeah, it's just it seems that she's found in some ways what I was sensing that Araragi has found in, off-screen stuff in the time that since we've seen him last, is that a little bit of balance has been found.
Sure.
And via this, the rampant running hair of the exhibitionist Suruga is something that is going to be reined back in a little bit. She's dialing back basically that chaotic side of herself and choosing a specific thing.
Yep.
One of the things that I love bringing up in discussion with a lot of people when I discuss a character's passion and motivation and stuff is that you should have some point in the story where them choosing their motivation or passion towards a specific thing means they're not choosing a whole lot of other things.
Because that's the nature of a choice.
Right. And there are moments in a story where you can just show really good drama where they have to sacrifice something that they also really like for a thing that they like a little bit more. And this feels like an example of that. And that is that she's giving up this rivalry, this jealousy, the negative emotions there, the ties back to even the devil thing there. Like this whole bit is called Suruga Devil, the bit here when we see on the title. She's basically going, I'm not going to wish on those things there. I'm basically going to make the wish on myself. I'm just going to give it to myself. I'm going to be a sports player. This is the thing that I actually find the most joy in doing. Maybe that was something that they were also doing when the sun came out and they're all just basking in this wonderful moment there. There's this just exhilarated feeling of just being, wow, I've missed this, It's really good. In fact, I kind of want to bring it up to see what Suruga was kind of bringing up in that bit there. I think it was actually more Roka that was bringing that up. Just the, wow, this was really good.
The whole team sport thing, yeah.
Yeah, her teammates never even passed to her. And they're talking about the rules and all that there.
One of the things that I also found kind of interesting, I'm not sure how much it's supposed to be read into, but Suruga's decision not to kiss Roka, right?
Okay.
And then she's thinking like, maybe I should have kissed her there, and then of course she's gone, so she doesn't have the chance anymore. But it was
doing something versus regretting it and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And and the whole idea that she made a decision not to kiss her there, and that decision was given permanence in that she won't get the chance again, right?
Sure.
And the idea of like, was there any more to it than that? Was the desire of the maybe I should have kissed her, was that just from the standpoint that, she realized how cute Roka was and, so that would have been nice to have kissed her, right? Or was it something else from a standpoint of like looking directly at her kind of, like fully embracing that person that was before her? Because of all the parallels that there are between Roka and Suruga, and Roka in a lot of ways being Suruga's own devil, Yeah.
I wanted to bring up this line that Roka kind of goes into a little bit of a monologue here, because there's a couple other things that are rather pointed. And this is probably what I love the most about the dialogue with regards to Monogatari, is that they don't waste time in those very key moments where a big plot related thing changes, they make sure they focus so much on specifically what kind of message they want to bring up here. And right before Roka leaves, she says, "Quit studying for exams and get back on the court, Kanbaru." There's this next bit here. She says, "There are plenty of places to show your skills other than the school team." And then, "What are you standing still for?" No, in your case, I guess it would be sitting on the sidelines. And then it shows the arm there.
Yeah.
The thing that might have been holding her back. "In life, there aren't any timeouts." And then she goes, "I don't want to hear that from you." Basically the idea of like, oof, this is basically myself. I'm hearing this from you and you're the one I'm jealous of. And then she goes, "Wait, but I suppose if I think about it as valuable advice from Sir Devil, it doesn't piss me off too much."
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Want me to think of a good line for you too?" And then it's already too late. Yeah. So the fact that that's the final bit that she gives there, like, this is the thing of where rather than being the one that would take upon the misery of the other person, she basically does the thing that she chose to do, which was to go around and give, advice.
Right. Well, and from that, and when it was from that place of genuinely caring. And there's so much care in this here. There's an understanding of who Suruga is that it's exactly the right thing to say, to the point that Suruga gets actually pissed off that she's saying this, because this is someone that aggravates her, that she doesn't want to look at, that she's jealous of. Right. Well, she's got mixed feelings on. Well, and to the end, she's not looking at her.
Exactly. Yeah. And then during that whole time, she's getting actually the advice that she ends up in some ways kind of taking.
Right.
And I just love it from the standpoint of Roka as a character is one that I would say kind of makes or breaks this whole arc.
Oh yeah,
it's actually more so her, the crux of it, than actually Suruga.
And that was probably the biggest thing that kind of threw me off with this arc of like trying to figure out where exactly it was going to go and end, because like, since there's the two of them, right? And Kanbaru is the one that it's about, but Roka is the one that's sort of the plot instigator of sorts, right?
And the mirror in some ways for Suruga there. This dynamic of just advice and what have you, it means a lot to me personally as well. I have always just wanted to be a more active participant in life. Go on the court, be a team player, take an active, meaningful role in how you choose specific things, and then own those decisions. It's like literally the thing that actually, like, one of my counselors has actually been telling me a lot is owning your yes and your no. So basically when you make a choice specifically, like, own the fact that you're saying yes to this thing or you're saying no to this thing, and what that means. Like, bring it in some ways a lot deeper to where it means more. And you'll make just more powerful, I would say, not just decisions and choices, but you'll make more powerful steps in life. Sure. As far as progress. Well, and then we see Suruga just being a badass at the last bit.
Well, and even the Araragi step, like lining up the books in a domino, in a lot of ways, that's another like allusion to choice, in that by doing one thing, there's consequences of that thing. Okay. Right? Yeah. Which cause other consequences and other consequences and other consequences. Sure. And the decision to hit the first domino, right? That is a decision knowing all the other things that are going to happen as a result of it. And it might not necessarily go the way you want it. You hope it will, right? You set up all the things in the most organized way possible, right? Because but life is life. Things don't always go the way you want, but you still make those decisions, right? I don't know if that was something that was intentional. I'm guessing in the light novels, it was like a lot of the scenery, I feel like in Monogatari, the anime, gets gone into like in depth, in the books. But I'm curious what the what the dominoes represented.
This arc definitely feels like they've covered now the bases with regards to
all the characters
who's kind of left in Bake. Like maybe Senjugahara.
No, because
like
I mean, okay,
like who would be next?
Okay,
what character do you think would be next to focus on right now?
Well, okay, right. Koi was Kaiki, but it also kind of was Senjugahara. If they wanted to have a dedicated Senjugahara arc, they could as like a parallel like mirror to it.
Maybe like a Senjugahara and Araragi kind of thing.
Yeah, the only other ones I would say would be more Karen and Tsukihi, but they don't necessarily have to, because I feel like they're in a bit of a weirder situation in that they were introduced in Nisei.
Right.
So
I'm thinking particularly about characters that were introduced in Bake.
Right.
Because they're the most important characters.
in like Nisei, like that was still season 1 of Monogatari, but
hey, we could just do Araragi next, like in a lot of ways getting a little bit of seeing of him kind of post high school here, and kind of seeing him doing
that'd be crazy.
Decently well, and having him
but they got to go back and do the other stuff like in the present day time, right? Like
right, exactly
hey,
that's what I mean. So going back and show a little bit of how he got to this point, and stuff like that, at the very least, like just to catch up with Araragi a little bit more, because we have been seeing less and less of him over the course of just time in general.
Yes.
But yeah, this was probably one of those arcs where it makes me think back in a lot of ways to like some of the stuff in Bake.
Oh yeah.
It feels like a very unique twist on the aberration kind of aspect that's where the aberration is just an aspect of the titular character that's getting the focus, and then it ends up coming full circle to them solving their own problem via some kind of introspection that the aberration forced upon them.
Right, with Tsuruga being the stand-in for Araragi being the stand-in for Meme, and then Roka being the person with the
aberration.
Problem.
Yeah. But also, that's the thing. She's the person with the problem, and she's the aberration in that regard.
Yeah.
If anything, the aberration was also the devil body parts and what have you. It was kind of a small part of it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Ogi just kind of bouncing around throughout this arc.
Still not fully resolved of, what they've been up to and all that stuff. So, But, y'all, that's the end of another arc. So, next arc coming up next. Who knows what it's going to be, but if you want to see that first episode's reaction and discussion to that arc right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there, and any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. You can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote. Yep. I mean, you guys know about it already, but Battle Lines, it's awesome, and it's on Amazon if you want to get it, if you're into reading and all that stuff. Link in the description. It's in both hardback and ebook. If you're in the U.S., outside the U.S., just ebook, but still great. Go get it.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.